Now at 9, the McDonald County Band Program is raising money by one mattress at a time. Plus, James River Church puts forth an effort to help those dealing with homelessness in our area, and Watered Gardens holds its grand opening for a brand new marketplace.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
An investigation is ongoing after reports of gunfire on West 5th Street in Joplin early this morning. This is KOAM News at 9. I'm Brock Baldridge. Witnesses downtown say countless rounds were fired after one saying they heard more than 15. Officers in the area also reported hearing gunshots on the scene. Joplin police officers gathered shell casings around the intersection of 5th and Joplin Avenue. The police were unable to locate suspects, although they were described as 2 males dressed in all black. Police did not find any evidence of injury. Bullet holes were located in nearby vehicles. Officers are now in the process of gathering video camera footage. It's been 1 year since the mass shooting after a Kansas City Chiefs championship rally that left one woman dead. The shooting outside Union Station put a tragic end to what had been a day of celebration for the back-to-back Super Bowl champions. 3 men were charged with murder and another with a felony charges connection to the shooting. Prosecutors say they fired weapons in response to a verbal argument between the two groups. A 43-year-old local DJ and radio host, Lisa Lopez Galvin, was hit and killed. More than 24 people were injured. Meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney joins us for a first look at weather.
Well, temperatures today got up to just about 50 degrees, which is our average for this time of year. However, as most of you know, we're not going to stay like that. Our temperatures are falling tonight into the teens as we saw a cold front come through earlier today, which in fact brought a little bit of snow, and it's still moving through. That band of snow is still pushing through. However, accumulation is not expected to be more than ½ of an inch. However, further southeast, south of I-44, out near Bentonville, Monette, maybe getting up to a little bit above ½ an inch of snow, but not going to be our biggest concern as we head into the rest of the week. Now, it's also been a warm day, so accumulation on the roads aren't going to be as big of a concern as the rain and the freezing overnight. That's going to be what we're going to be watching as we head into tomorrow morning, black ice. Now, winds are starting to die down as we head through Sunday, and we are watching a winter storm that's going to be coming in Tuesday. So this warning is out until 6 a.m., and it could be quite a bit of snowfall, but I'm going to have those details coming up.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. See you in a few. The McDonald County High School Band Program held a fundraiser selling mattresses at a lower discounted price. KOAM's Mitch Adams brings us more details.
At the end of every night, you most likely end up in the same spot. A good mattress can make the difference between healthy sleep and waking up on the wrong side of the bed.
A lot of people are always looking for a mattress. A lot of people are looking to replace their mattress every few years. So the money's going to help us out because we're obviously fundraising for the band program.
Some fundraisers sell items like cookie dough or trash bags, but after hearing about the mattress sales from other band directors, the band decided to give it a go.
We saw them at a music directors conference, and we decided to just kind of go and give it a try. And it worked for us last year really well. We earned about $5,000 in just one day, so we'll see if we can keep it rolling.
One band student told us about how this way of raising money has impacted their program positively, and how it's helping students pay for a trip to Chicago in April.
It's helped us a lot because for the big trip, it's expensive in Chicago and we need a lot of money, and mattresses are expensive. It's $1,000, and the scaling of how much we get is a lot if you really think about it. And it's really helpful. I'm almost done fundraising, and we need 1,000 per person, which is a lot, and it's really helpful.
In McDonald County, Missouri, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
Apart from helping fund a trip to Chicago, the money raised will go towards buying and repairing instruments and paying contest fees. James River Church in Joplin put together care packages to give out to the Joplin area and homeless encampments and nursing homes. The outreach is part of James River's monthly Saturday Serve, where members of the congregation participate in various projects for the community. Items in the packages include hygiene products, blankets, snacks, and a Bible.
Serving the needs of our community at James River Church is a really big deal to us. We want to be the hands and feet of Jesus, and so we're thankful for the Sundays and the Wednesday services we have week after week and the thousands of people that are a part of that. But we know this, we also want to be out in the community making a difference. We want to see poverty decline. We want to see crime decline.
Any spare packages were donated to the Water Gardens Ministries. Speaking of which, people wrap around the block as Water Garden Ministries is holding its grand opening for its new marketplace on 220 West 2nd in Joplin. The marketplace, while being a thrift store, also functions as an employment program for guests and partners of the ministry. Music and snacks were available for people to enjoy while they shop today.
It's taken a phenomenal amount of work to get the store off the ground. We've priced like over 10,000 items, so we're going to have people going through clothing, hanging them, pricing them, putting stuff out on the floor, doing customer service, working at our cash registers, making sure the store is tidy and neat and presentable.
The ministry's workshop goods will also be on sale at the market. Coming up, students across the country are still struggling to catch up from the pandemic learning loss. But one school district found a solution on how tutoring and intervention efforts are closing the gap. 5 years after COVID-19 first altered much of our daily lives, many students and schools are still trying to climb out of the depths of learning gaps from the pandemic's heights. Fox News' Chris DeMio takes a closer look on just how far behind the average student is and how some school districts are helping encourage faster recovery.
While everyone has certain academic subjects they excel in, when it comes to reading and math, many students are still suffering learning gaps from disruptions during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Schools are struggling to catch up related to the pandemic because of the lasting impact learning loss has had on students.
According to data from the most recent Education Recovery Scorecard, researchers discovered the average student is a half a grade level behind pre-pandemic performance in both reading and math. The analysis was based off tests taken last spring and shows students are even more behind in reading than they were in 2022.
Before I went to tutoring, I didn't really understand the work that we were getting.
Districts have been putting state and federal relief funds towards strategies to boost success. Researchers found higher income districts are making more progress.
We brought our students back a lot sooner, and our instructional day was a lot longer.
But in southern Los Angeles County, the Compton Unified School District is hoping its interventions can serve as a model for others.
The gains that we made last year and this year were the highest in the state for similarly situated school districts.
District officials have hired more than 250 tutors, with some classes armed with several assistants to help teachers. Schools are also offering tutoring before and after school on top of programs on Saturdays and during the summer. Dyslexia screenings are also now done across all elementary schools in the district. Students are noticing the extra encouragement.
The students confident knowing that they have help from their teachers.
Chris DeMeo, Fox News.
The state of Wyoming has identified its first human case of bird flu. Wyoming Department of Health officials say the older woman is the third confirmed hospitalization related to the H5N1 virus in the U.S. The woman is hospitalized in another state and has health conditions that raise her risk of severe illness. Officials believe that the woman was exposed to the virus through a flock of infected poultry at her home. The CDC maintains the overall risk of bird flu to the public remains low. There have been nearly 70 confirmed infections of bird flu in the U.S. All but 3 have had known exposures to animals. 1 person has died. Lindsay is up next with a complete look at your forecast. Later, new tariffs could mean a higher price for your favorite craft beer, but how much more will you pay? One brewer breaks down the possible impact.
Well, if you're outside right now, you're seeing a little bit of snowfall going on. Let's go ahead and take a look outside downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. Can see maybe a few flurries out there. Definitely the roads are a little slick as well. Winds are still gusting 25 to 30 miles per hour tonight. And we do have out in Oklahoma, that is a winter weather advisory for tonight. But the rest of the blue is a winter storm watch for the system coming up on Tuesday. So we're going to get back to that as we see That system that passed earlier that brought us some rain, brought some severe weather down to Tennessee and Mississippi and even Kentucky, but we're watching this band of snow through the area that's going to continue over the next hour or so. So let's take a look. As it continues to push in, the heavier band of snow reaching the Joplin area in about 30 minutes to an hour. It'll continue to push further south. Greater amount of snow accumulations are possible south of I-44 around Bella Vista, out to Monette as well. Temperatures do continue to fall down into the teens. So whatever does fall tonight, snow and rain, is going to refreeze. So black ice in the morning is going to be our biggest concern. Now, by 6 a.m., clouds are starting to push out. We're going to have a mostly sunny day tomorrow, although temperatures are going to be pretty cold. We're starting off in the teens, and then the highs only getting to the upper 20s and low 30s. 31 in Grove, 31 in Bonita, only 32 in Nowata. So Nowata's going to be our warmest city, but everywhere else is going to stay below freezing as we have a northerly breeze. Then heading into Monday, we're cold again to start, teens, mid-teens to upper teens, but winds start to shift out of the east. That's going to give us a little bit of a warmer day on Monday, upper 30s, low 40s. But we've got another system coming in that's going to drop our temperatures as we head into Tuesday. As you can see, we go from upper 30s to low 20s on Tuesday, and that low 20s is to start our morning off, and then we continue to fall after that. So let's go ahead and look at our big winter system. By 5 p.m., you can see we're already in the upper 30s. Winds are starting to shift, and then here comes our snow early Tuesday morning. Just after midnight, we're going to start to see some flurries, and then the heavier snow moves in a little bit later. So this is where we're seeing our high, 22 degrees at 7 a.m. Now let's watch as we go through the rest of the day. Snow moves in, and we are right in the center of the heaviest snowfall, and temperatures continue to fall down into the teens and even low teens and single digits. So by Tuesday at 6:30, we've already had snow all day, and then again, that main snow line, the heaviest part of this snow system, is going to be going right on top of us. So we're seeing a lot of that, mostly just snow, not a lot of rain or ice mixed in with that because temperatures are going to be so cold. By Wednesday morning, we're in the single digits. Cold temperatures do continue, and we're even seeing colder temperatures as we head into Thursday, plus another round of some flurries. This second round is not going to be accumulating much, but it is going to cause our temperatures to drop below zero. -2 in Joplin, -5 in Parsons, -6 in Yates Center. So that's going to continue, not to mention our wind chill as well is going to be up to -25. That's what it's going to feel like in the overnight hours and early morning hours, both Wednesday and Thursday. Now, snow amounts could be quite a bit. Now, our little gradient, that means our snowfalls, less than 2 inches in Oklahoma, Arkansas. We quickly rise to 6 to 12 inches in our area, but not to mention we also have the chance to see greater accumulations possible in that area as well, especially isolated areas that do see a little bit heavier of the snowfall in some spots. Plus, we're not going to see a lot of this melting until the weekend because these temperatures are in the teens for the highs. Even though we get some sunshine, it's not going to be warm enough to melt. Now, it is an alert day on Tuesday because of the heavy snowfall, and then the temperatures are going to be, I mean, just beyond cold. This is going to be our coldest week we've seen this season. Holy cow. I mean, obviously don't put the winter coats away. No. But I was going to say, you know, the system we're in now, it's almost like a preview of what's going to come. That's so it's basically the same system we saw last January, a little bit of snow, and then the next week a big amount of snow, and that's what we're getting again this week. All right, there you have it. Thanks, Lindsay. Coming up, California is finally recovering.
Wildfire recovery efforts now on hold as Southern California is now dealing with mudslides. I'm Bill Malugin in Malibu. We'll have that story coming up after the break.
Many Americans are already feeling the impact of inflation on their grocery bills. Now the Trump administration's 25% blanket tariffs on aluminum and steel imports are expected to have an effect on businesses like craft breweries and by extension an impact on consumers. Brian Johnson spoke with one business in Kansas City.
Hayseed Beer Company launched in 2014.
We go through over 1 million cans a year.
They specialize in quality, traditional German-style beers.
I'm not really excited about the potential tariffs that could increase costs again.
Founder Steve Hawley says during COVID, tariffs and supply chain issues shifted prices dramatically. That changed some consumer habits. Companies thrive on predictability, so new tariffs raise alarms.
Oh my gosh, another thing impacting craft beer. It's been a tough 5 years with COVID.
He says their 12-ounce cans are made from all-American aluminum, but the 19.2-ounce cans have some foreign metal.
Oh, it's hard to tell what the impact is going to be. I'm sure if other people are paying more for aluminum, it's going to drive the price up.
Higher demand for U.S. aluminum means higher prices. Right now, he believes, worst-case scenario, a 24-pack of beer might cost $1.50 more than before.
That's probably not going to happen, but it's likely, I guess, that there's going to be a price increase.
He says $1.50 may or may not sound like a lot, but it could impact sales. Bottom line, he hopes people choose quality.
Life is too short to drink cheap beer. That's all I want to say. You deserve one moment of relaxation after a hard day of work.
Some travelers celebrated Valentine's Day by staying up all night with Southwest Airlines. It has officially launched its red-eye service. First announced in July, the airline launched its first regularly scheduled red-eye Friday morning. Overnight flights known as red-eyes typically fly from west to east due to time zone differences. Right now, Southwest is offering one red-eye flight per day on 5 such routes. Southwest plans to increase that to 33 per day this summer. That's part of the airline's goal to bring more connectivity and transcontinental travel and service to and from Hawaii. Well, love is in the air, and so are more than 2 million pounds of fresh flowers. 90% of those flowers are imported into the U.S. will come through Miami International Airport, while many Customs and Border Protection agents are busy cracking down on illegal immigrants across the country. A specialized group of CBP agents are busy focusing on a different type of threat. Fox News' Dana Marie McNichol has the story.
90% of flowers in the U.S. go through Miami. Chances are if you got a bouquet, it came from Colombia or Ecuador and went through a very strict inspection first. It's a 24/7 operation at Customs and Border Protection. Agents inspect millions of stems. The process is meticulous. They shake and examine each flower looking for hidden exotic insects or signs of disease. Even one contaminated shipment could have serious consequences. Just like here in Florida, the citrus industry is at risk.
By enforcing these laws, we keep America safe, the agriculture sector safe, and our food supply safe.
1,500 tons of flowers arrive every day at Miami International Airport. That's equivalent to the weight of almost 40 fully loaded 18-wheelers. Although only 2% of the flowers are inspected, agents this year already found more than 600 contaminated shipments. This is the busiest time of year for flower inspections. Last year, agents looked at 76 million roses. In Miami, Dana Marie McNichol, Fox News.
Up next, Valentine's Day warmed hearts in Utah. With help from some very special four-legged cupids, see how senior dogs spread the love and joy to local seniors next. Young or old, 2 or 4 legs. Valentine's Day is all about the gift of love. On Thursday, seniors at a Utah assisted living facility received some special deliveries from some furry friends. Senior dogs and other volunteers delivered treats and Valentine's Day cards to the residents. The event was organized by a nonprofit group called the Golden Bark Foundation. Golden Bark collected more than 200 cards to give to seniors at 2 facilities, and some sweet senior dogs helped the way with the deliveries. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Coming up, a major hostage exchange brings relief and celebration, but will the ceasefire hold? Plus, a direct plea to President Trump as tensions continue. Hostages freed and prisoners released. Israelis and Palestinians celebrate a fragile ceasefire hold. But with hostages still in captivity, will the deal move forward? Stephanie Bennett has the latest.
Israelis across the country are cheering Saturday as additional hostages return after 16 months of captivity. Hamas parading the 3 newly released hostages in Gaza, including 1 American-Israeli citizen. Many Israelis breathing a sigh of relief as the hostages seem in better physical condition than the last 3 men who were released, looking gaunt and frail just a week ago.
There are no words that can explain how excited we are, how much we've been waiting for him at home.
It's all part of a ceasefire deal that seemed fragile in the past days, but is now holding up. Meanwhile, hundreds in the West Bank celebrate the return of 369 Palestinian prisoners, including 36 who were serving life sentences for deadly attacks, all in exchange for 3 hostages.
It's an indescribable feeling mixed with pain and joy. God willing, the joy will be complete with the release of all the prisoners.
Now questions on whether the ceasefire will reach its second phase, where Hamas is supposed to release all of the hostages left in its captivity as long as Israel ends the war. One Israeli-American hostage who was freed just weeks ago is making a plea to President Donald Trump.
Mr. President, once again, your leadership, power, and authority are necessary to enforce the ceasefire.
President Donald Trump posting a deadline on his Truth Social account on Saturday, writing all of the hostages held by Hamas must be released by noon. He also said the U.S. will back whatever decision Israel takes. In London, Stephanie Bennett, Fox News.
Multiple sources say Trump administration officials fired more than 300 staffers at the agency tasked with managing the country's nuclear stockpile. The terminations were part of the border layoffs at the Energy Department. However, sources say officials did not appear to know the agency oversaw the nation's nuclear weapons. A spokesperson for the Energy Department has disputed the number of employees who were fired. Then on Friday, an agency administrator said they are rescinding the termination of probationary employees. One source says that they are not sure how many of the employees will be returning. The strongest storm of the season has swept through the Southern California area Thursday, drenching areas already scarred from the wildfires. Fox News' Bill Malugin has more from Los Angeles.
This is what it looked like in much of the Los Angeles area during the peak of heavy rains last night. Fast-moving mud flows coming down from hills burned out from the wildfires, rushing across roads and highways, dumping huge amounts of debris into the ocean.
I'm definitely worried about the debris flow, worried that, we obviously haven't been able to move all the debris.
The Pacific Coast Highway was closed after an LA Fire Department vehicle was swept away into the ocean. Thankfully, the fire official inside was able to get to safety, but by nightfall, the area was a total mess, prompting a new round of evacuations.
After having such a traumatic fire evacuation, we don't need another scare, it's just too close.
And anxious residents who were able to save their homes during the wildfires now have a new cause for concern.
We still have to deal with insurance for the interior of the house, and now we worry about if our house is still going to be here because of the mudslides.
At the height of the storm, almost 28,000 people were without electricity, and more than 200 flights were delayed or canceled. And while folks here assess the damage, some say they're trying to take it all in stride.
We're trying to do our own personal assessment of risk and not get caught up in the hype train, but also not be, casual about it either.
Some areas ended up getting more than 6 inches of rain, but forecasters say that storm is now moved out of the area, and it's looking like we're going to have a dry weekend ahead out here. Reporting in Malibu, Bill Malugin, Fox News.
Still ahead, Philadelphia bleeds green as Eagle fans flood the streets to celebrate their Super Bowl champs.
Well, we're having a band of snow move through the area. Let's go ahead and take a look outside. Downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. A little bit of snowfall out there. However, it's not going to really stick, especially not to the roads. We got up to 50 degrees today, so not a lot of cold roads out there. All the bridges will likely freeze, especially as we head into tonight. We do have out in the Oklahoma and Arkansas counties that is a winter weather advisory for the system moving through right now, but our northern counties, so that's Kansas and Kansas and Missouri, are under a winter storm watch. That's for the storm on Tuesday. That's going to be moving in Tuesday morning, and that warning extends until 6 a.m. on Wednesday. So we're watching this band of snow move through the area. Now, we had a little bit of rain earlier, now moved off to Tennessee and actually dropped a few tornadoes. So they've gotten some severe weather over there. We're just getting a little bit of snowfall. So taking a look as we head into the next 30 minutes to an hour, that's when we're going to start to see that snow kind of push off to the east. Temperatures are falling down into the upper 20s as we continue into the night. Then getting into the low 20s and upper teens as we head into the morning. So it's about 6 a.m. Our low for the night, 17, 18, 19 degrees. Some areas still reaching about 20 degrees, but definitely cold enough to see some of those spots on the road freeze over. So black ice is going to be a concern as we head into Sunday morning with these low temperatures. Now the high for the day getting into the upper 20s, low 30s, but we're mostly going to stay below freezing. So it's going to be a cold day tomorrow, although sunny. So whatever does freeze over tonight will melt tomorrow. And then as we head into Monday, a little bit warmer. Now winds start to shift. We're having a cold start, still in the mid-teens, but our high for the day, upper 30s and low 40s. It's not long-lived because our big system comes in as we head into Monday night and Tuesday, which is going to drop our temperatures down into the low 20s on Tuesday and then just continue to drop after that. And actually our high for Tuesday is actually going to be in the morning. So let's look at that future track. 22 degrees in Joplin, 7 a.m. And after that, temperatures will continue to fall. We're going to get colder throughout the rest of the day. Snow already has started right after midnight Monday, snow flurries, but the heavier snow starts to push in later in the morning. So it's about 11 a.m. starting to see that heavy band of snow kind of push into right along Kansas, Oklahoma, north of I-44, moving into the Joplin area. By 11, we're down into the teens already. Then the band of snow widens. We're getting heavy snowfall most of the day on Tuesday. This is now 6:30 p.m. Again, heavy snowfall, temperatures down into the low teens and even upper single digits, and we're just going to continue to fall after that. By Wednesday morning, snow is starting to push its way out to the east. Temperatures are in the single digits and even dropping a little bit lower for our overnight low Wednesday morning, getting down to 2 degrees in Joplin, 0 Parsons, -1 Yates Center and Nevada. A little bit warmer though for the daytime hours, getting into the upper single digits, low teens. And then we have another little band of snow moving in Thursday morning. Not going to accumulate a lot more compared to the snow that we're already going to see on Tuesday. So amounts still are vary a little bit. However, we do have high confidence that we're going to get a decent amount of snowfall, 6 to 12 inches, a little bit closer to this event. So that's going to be Sunday night and into Monday. We're going to know exactly how much. But some areas in this little circle all the way out to Wichita, Joplin, St. Louis, Kansas City, greater accumulations are possible, which means we could see over 12 inches of snow in some areas. Now, it's going to be very light, fluffy snow. So it is easy to kind of accumulate a lot more. Not expecting a lot of ice or rainfall with that system. Since temperatures are so cold, it's going to be mostly snow, heavy snow. So we do have that alert day set for Tuesday. And then those temperatures are going to be bitterly cold all the way through Friday. You can see those overnight lows in the single digits and below 0. And then wind chills, that's going to be Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night. Wind chills down -20 to -30. It's going to be, I mean, just freezing if you can help it. I was just not stepping out on, pretty much any day this week.
Well, it's one thing for it to snow. It's another thing, I think it's concerning of how cold it's going to be.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be, I think, one of the biggest life-threatening situations is how cold it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Lindsay. Coming up in sports, Missouri Southern and Pitt State basketball travels on the road this weekend. Plus, it's sophomore day for Crowder women's college basketball. Anthony Saviello has the highlights from the game and more.
Well, the baseball season is just getting started for the Crowder Rough Riders. Crowder comes into the weekend facing Iowa Western. The Rough Riders split a doubleheader with the Reavers on Friday. We go to Saturday's game. Crowder aims to win the series over Iowa Western. Let's start in the top of the first inning. Eli Creselius gets to the start on the mound. Dane Most hits a fly ball into the shallow left field. It falls down for an RBI single. Iowa Western gets on the board first and leads 1-0. But Creselius starts to settle down. He throws a big-time breaking ball to strike out the next batter. That will end the inning. We head to the bottom of the first. Skylar Graham. He's going to belt one into the gap. That goes clear to the fence. That'll score a pair of runs as Graham goes into second base with an 2-run RBI double. Crowder takes a 2-1 lead. Next batter, Dylan Atherton, goes to the opposite field, and that's a base hit. That'll score another run. That RBI single extends the Rough Rider lead 3-1. We go to the second inning. Ducks on the pond once again for Crowder. This ball looks like trouble in the outfield, but the shortstop, Cooper Neville, comes over to make a really nice play on the run. Close game all day, but Iowa Western comes away with a 9-8 win over Crowder. We go from outdoors to indoors as the Crowder women's basketball team faces off against Mineral Area College. In the first quarter, Addison Roberts shoots a 3 off the dribble. That one is good from the top of the key. Next possession, Roberts goes back to work as she drives in the lane, finishes with a layup. That gives Crowder a 1-point lead. Let's go over to the second quarter. Rough Riders find momentum right here. Aubrey Wilson fires a 3, and she connects. A few minutes later, the Rough Riders get a boost off their bench from Lexi Winton. She drains a 3. That ties the game. Crowder continues their scoring spree to close out the half. Here's Jada Turner, who makes a nice cut to the basket. She gets the hook jumper to go through. Then Addison Roberts carries on with her big day. She knocks down another 3-ball. Crowder hangs on to win a hard-fought game. Rough Riders go on to beat Mineral Area 73-68. Well, Missouri Southern men's basketball won their game against Northwest Missouri State for the first time since 2018. Southern continues their road trip as they face Missouri Western this Saturday. The Lions square off with the Griffins for the first time this season. Southern led at halftime in this one, but second half was a different story. Missouri Western beats Missouri Southern 79-67. Missouri Southern women's basketball is looking to bounce back after a loss. Lions also facing the Griffins. Just like the men, similar result here. Missouri Western takes down Southern 77-67. However, Mackenzie Hart scores 17 points against her former team. Up in Maryville, Pitt State men's basketball is riding a 4-game winning streak coming into the weekend. Gorillas are starting to get hot at the right time. Pitt State wins 89-77. 6 different players scored in double figures for PSU. Last but not least, Pitt State women's basketball faces a tough road test. They had to battle in this one, but Pitt State wins 61-59. The Gorillas have now won 14 straight games, and they are still undefeated in the MIAA. Over to Division I college hoops, Mizzou on the road taking on Georgia. Tigers lead by 2 with under a minute and a half left. Asa Newell comes in for the slam. That ties the game, but the second half would belong to Mizzou. Tamar Bates finds the space he needs, and that's a big-time dunk. Tigers lead by 6. Later in the game, Anthony Robinson comes away with the steal. He goes the other way and throws it down on the other end. Next possession, it's Robinson again. He stops, pops, connects with a triple. He finished this afternoon with 15 points, over a minute left to play. Tony Perkins gets loose on the inbounds play, and then he throws it down with a posterizing dunk. Missouri rolls over Georgia 87-74. More action here in the SEC. Arkansas travels to College Station. Razorbacks battle till the end, but the Aggies come out victorious with a 69-61 win over the Hogs. So how about PSU men's basketball? Or women's basketball, undefeated in the MIAA. Love to see what they're doing.
I was going to say, I think we found our new weekend sports anchor, and that's Anthony Savio.
I appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we'll be back after this. On Valentine's Day in the city of brotherly love, the Philadelphia Eagle fans showed plenty of love for their champion football team. Hundreds of thousands of fans poured onto the streets to celebrate the Eagles' Super Bowl win. Danny Freeman was in the middle of the crowd.
Philadelphia flying high Friday as the city of brotherly love celebrated their Super Bowl champions.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
Philly, a sea of green as scores of fans lined the streets to cheer on the Birds. Officials projected over 1 million supporters would flood the city. When did you get here?
6 in the morning.
And why was it so important to be out here?
Because this is everything Philadelphia is about die-hard fans willing to do anything to just celebrate one moment that may never come again.
The Eagles and their fans savored every memory of dismantling the Kansas City Chiefs piece by piece in their 40-22 victory Sunday.
My grandfather, they're huge Eagles fans, and the fact that I'm getting to see 2 is just, it's over the top. It's the best feeling ever.
In the end, poles were climbed, beers were thrown, and absurdity existed.
This city is one of the greatest cities in the world. We get a bad rap, but it is what it is, right? And so we come out and support our teams through thick and thin, and we're just happy right now, at least for the Eagles.
But the love for the city and its football team coursed through the heart of Philadelphia on the Ben Franklin Parkway at the Valentine's Day party. as the city that bleeds green watched their Eagles soar.
Because we are the champions. Come on, Philly! Of the world!
Ex-SNL star-studded homecoming, a legendary duo's final road trip, and Ben Affleck back in action. Hollywood is buzzing. Don't miss the biggest movie and music headlines. A couple of thrillers, an upcoming documentary, and a look at SNL's 50th anniversary concert is all in the Hollywood Nation. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Mr. Wolf? The Accountant returns, and superstars celebrate SNL in today's Hollywood Nation. Additional performers have been announced for SNL 50, the Homecoming Concert, celebrating 5 decades of Saturday Night Live comedy and music. Cher, Lauryn Hill, Dave Grohl, Snoop Dogg, St. Vincent, and Wyclef Jean are part of the lineup. Previously announced artists include Lady Gaga, Miley Cyrus, Arcade Fire, Backstreet Boys, and Bad Bunny. The concert also includes past cast members and surprise guests. It streams live on Peacock Friday. Cheech and Chong's last movie will be in theaters nationwide April 25th. The documentary features interviews and sketches as it tells Cheech Marin and Tommy Chong's story through a mix of animation and archives, underscored by a classic road trip comedy. In today's First Looks is Borderline, starring Samara Weaving and Ray Nicholson. Its story follows a 90s pop star fighting to escape a stalker's delusions of a wedding after he invades her home. The thriller is in theaters and on digital March 14th.
I need your help to finish the job you started.
An official trailer has been released for The Accountant 2. Ben Affleck returns as Christian Wolf, with John Bernthal playing his brother, both finding themselves targets of a ruthless network of killers as they uncover a deadly conspiracy. The sequel is in theaters April 25th.
I spent years looking for you. Do you not miss me because of me, or is it your condition?
In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Well, that's our time for tonight, and thanks for stopping by, Four States. Have a great night.